this notion that women choose it, with the implication being that women are responsible for the abuse done to them by men, or like, because they chose it or consented to it, or that again, it couldn't be that bad because women choose it. So I'm wondering what's your response to women choose it as a defense?
Right. Well, I would ask immediately, why are they choosing it? Because not all women choose it. And, according to the research, it does tend to be a certain, um, not type, but situation that a woman's in that makes her choose this. So it's not a free choice. It's usually, most of us immediately, it's the money. There's not too many rich women choosing it, for starters. Or if they do, it's in a very limited way where they get to pick and choose things, and it's just a bit of an adventure. That's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about women who are actually in the industry because they need the money. So that's the first thing. And, the second reason women often choose it is addiction issues like I had, alcoholism, that make it difficult to keep another job. Another reason women choose it is because of past abuse, which sort of makes what's happening seem just normal, you know. And I would say also another reason women choose it is because of the way women are indoctrinated in our culture to self-objectify. And so it's doesn't seem like that much of a stretch. And I think you see this happening increasingly with platforms like OnlyFans and what have you. So when you look at the reasons why women are choosing it, none of those are good reasons. They're not choosing it because it's a good career, or because it will really get them somewhere in life, because for most of us, it doesn't. It does the extreme opposite. Most of us leave the industry with less than we came in, and it's in the end a contributor to more poverty, as well as more trauma and all the rest of it. So yeah, I think when we talk about choice, it's important to ask, why is this person choosing it? Why is the woman choosing to stay in the domestic violence situation? Again, I think it's a good parallel. It's not actually because she says, yeah, I want to be here. It's a very pressurized choice. And Sheila Jeffries, it calls it a decision rather than a choice. It's like there's all these shit options, and so you choose one of the shit options, and that's the sex industry in many cases. So it's not this free choice that people think it is. And I think it's confusing for people too, because a lot of women, and I think we're going to talk about Lily Phillips later, will say they love it and they're choosing it, but you've got to put that into some perspective. That's the accepted porn script that we're supposed to say. I said it all the time, so that sort of thing is not necessarily the truth at all. Yeah, so those are a few ideas.
Mm. Yeah, thank you. And I think you make the point really well that the women who are supposedly choosing the sex trade are women who are profoundly vulnerable, who are marginalized, and all these things. But again, this concept, I like what you said about Sheila Jeffries, the point about it being a decision, because when you think of a choice, the term choice suggests that there's actual viable options. You're choosing between more than one, excuse me, viable options. And if your options are to be in the sex industry or to not eat and not pay the rent, that's not much of a choice. You might not be choosing from, like, oh, I could have a career as a lawyer or a doctor, or I could be in the sex trade. It's not that kind of choice. It's very limited options and constrained choices, which is why the term choice is kind of not not the best applied to this situation.